Hollywood, California, Meltdown Comics, the Nerd Melt Theater, Harmontown is now in session. Please welcome to the stage the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Such kind people. You're such warm-hearted, supportive people. You put a lot of faith in me. I don't want to let you down. But it won't be a good show tonight. It's not going to be a good show.
Why is that?
I'm busy, and I'm tired, and not very talented, and I don't make plans, and then I come up on stage, and then it's like, well, what am I going to talk about? I don't have anything to talk about.
Here's why, Dan, I disagree with you about tonight's show. I think it's going to be a good one, because tonight you're drinking out of glass as opposed to a red Solo cup. And I think that automatically steps up the class factor.
I think I wrote one thing in my my notepad.
See, I knew it.
Let's see. Oh, there is a surprise later tonight.
Gonna take his dick out. By the way, Dan, while you're looking that up, people that play music and like music, because we can't play licensed music anymore, I have to play stuff that people either donate to us or that is free so that we don't get in trouble now that we're charging people. So if you want to, or you know somebody that plays music and wants to play something kick-ass to start off the show, go to harmontownmusic.tumblr.com, and all the info will be there to have a song that we can play to start off the show and play throughout the show. So if you know somebody, please give it, because that song is by a band called Knife to Meet You.
Oh. Knife.
Real knife.
Real knife. Yeah, that's Harold Knife and his girlfriend, Cindy Meats. See?
Cindy Meats?
You thought I was being self-deprecating. I'm just a journalist.
Why are you so tired, Harmon?
I'm working. I've got to go back to the office after this. I'm locking episode 604.
Take us through the last 48 hours of your life. What have you done?
Well, last Friday I went to Yahoo in San Jose. They over the weekend they had us come out. I think it was Friday. We went and flew to San Jose and then drove to this weird spaceship in the middle of the desert where these thousands and thousands of Yahoo people work, and it's crazy over there. And they had, it was just like sort of like a drop into they have like a fireside chat every Friday where the CEO, Marissa Meyer, conducts this whole thing, and you can Reddit style, you can type in, I think, anonymous questions. And they get upvoted or downvoted. It's sort of like a closed circuit Reddit for AMA that she does every week. So if you have a beef with your paycheck or something, you can what the fuck's with my paycheck? And if everyone's like, yeah, what the fuck's up with the paycheck? And she'll be like, oh, what the fuck's up with the paycheck? Okay, so here's the thing. You don't get one, but listen. I don't know. You get a free email address. Look under your seat. It's like that. So that they have guests that are people that work at different departments come up and do this thing, and it's all a big kind of pump you up Yahoo thing. And they have purple beer. I'm boring myself. The purple beer is really good. I have nothing bad to say about Yahoo.
Is it purple for a reason, or is it just dyed purple because it's called?
It's made with blueberries or something, so I think there's some purpleness justified, but I think overall probably they just put cancerous dye in it, right? I mean, I don't think anything that's supposed to be a color is ever that color.
Are you accusing Yahoo,
right?
your employer, of putting cancer in their beer?
Yes. I'm just saying, when things are orange because you feel like they should be orange, they're not usually orange. Like
cheddar
usually,
cheese.
Yeah, we rarely see things the way. Somebody told me that air conditioning in the air conditioning industry, there's a worldwide conspiracy to make the 69 degrees in your car either warmer or colder than real 69 degrees because human beings have a certain temperature that they think is 69 degrees and it doesn't match what's real 69 degrees. Somebody told me that when we were doing the AC repair things in Community. Anyways, the our movie was just broke on Netflix, and you can tell because yes, please, Netflix is here.
I mean, is that why you're drinking out of a glass?
Yes,
yes, a red Solo cup?
Well, you can tell from the volume of tweets of people saying, "I just watched the Harmontown documentary." It kind of really shot up. I don't think Netflix is. I think they got a real sizable lemonade stand going over there. I think they might be flexing some nets. I think they might have some viewership, that Netflix.
Is Sydney Meats there? Sydney Meats. All right. So, are you almost through the woods with a Community? Are you almost through with the writing?
Yeah. But why don't you play the family song?
Family song.
So I'll get my own. From the day I went to you, I knew it was true. And I saw your eyes, and you knew what you saw was true. Family, you are what we need. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Put your mom and the buddy in the chute. Fuck you, mama. Family, beep, beep, toot, toot. Put your mama in the bucket in the chute. Family is where you are. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Put your mama in the bucket and your daddy in the chute.
Oh, wait. Was MC John about to come out? Was MC John about to?
Seemed like it. You got to start over, though. But here's the thing with that song, though. It starts right on the nugget, and then I start a measure in. I don't know. Do you call it a measure?
Or a bar, yeah.
A bar.
Yeah.
And then I can tell from the music that I'm a bar off. You know what I mean? Because I'm like doing my setups.
It goes like 1, 2, 3, 4. It starts right on the 1.
So that's a toughie. Whoever wrote that song, you failed.
Let it go 4 or 8 bars before you jump in.
Really?
So go like like just hype it up for a bit.
Okay, so it's like you start it.
Okay, let's try it out.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. Are you ready? Check it out.
Oh, sorry. I start there.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, try. I thought 4 would be like 2 more.
You could do 4 or 8. Like it's.
So as long as it's 2, as a factor of 2, I'm okay.
I mean, you want to start at the end of a measure, right? Like.
Okay, because it just seems. Okay, let's try it. Let me try it.
Okay, you ready? Okay, here we go. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
When the morning sun comes up, I go to school. See, you hear that? No, did you hear it? Like it did like a resolve-y thing.
No, you were right in it.
No, but it was. I said go to school, and it was like burr, 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 burr. Like it was like you're done. Like you're done with that thought.
Then let it go. Let it turn it all the way around there. Then.
4?
Okay, let's hear it.
For 4?
All right. Okay, yeah. I mean, you can fill that time with some,
When I go to school, I like to learn. I think about the things you should not burn. No, okay, it's doing it again.
How about this? When it starts, just start. Just like even if you have to.
All right, let's try that. But I'm not always going to be able to do that.
Well, I mean, but even if
let's just see if that works.
Even if it's bullshit, just like even like I don't know. Okay. All right, just like jump in.
I'm never going to. Okay. So go ahead, try it.
The question: Do you want a topic or you want to freestyle?
No. This is about joy.
This is about joy.
This song makes me happy.
Okay.
I just sing from my heart.
Yeah. Kevin MacLeod, if you're out there, come to Harmontown and visit the show because he's really become a celebrity.
Yeah.
I think we all agree that this is the greatest song of all time.
Okay.
All right. So now the thing is, as soon as this kicks in,
right,
just dive in.
Right.
So I can even try to count you in. A 1, 2, a 3, a 4.
Winter, summer, spring, and seasons of fall. I can go a whole year without loving at all. Spiders inside of me, leprechauns on the right of me, scary things all around. Running through the cemetery, oh boy, it's very scary. I've got to get to ground round. It's a restaurant in the Midwest. Family, you pay what you weigh. Ground round, pay what you weigh. It's a mean thing to do to a fat kid today. Commentary on ground round threw me off meter. I am Big Fat John. I'm MC John's brother. I'm anxious about my weight, and I'm not as good a rapper. Thank you. When you go down to the house, you bring a key. Beep, beep, toot, toot. Bring a key to your house and you get your loot. I want to go inside for you. Beep, 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 toot, 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 toot. Emily, you are all I need. Beep, beep, toot, toot. From the street to the beat, from the man on the moon.
What is our show? What are we doing?
Okay, you're right. If you were a new viewer, you would be you would be upset.
One thing's for certain, that was certainly about joy. I have some questions about Big Fat John, MC John's brother.
Oh, he's
why
so
are they
sad.
why are they both named John? And also,
I think that his parents were like,
are they full siblings or step brothers?
I think that Big Fat John, I think they're full on genetic siblings, but their parents are just so mean.
Who's
But
old?
Big Fat John got born, and they're like, let's try again.
Wait, so MC John's the younger brother?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Big Fat John is like first, and then they were just like laid him aside, and they said, you're going to watch us do this right.
Wait. The parents made... How old was MC John when they made him watch the parents have sex again?
5.
So he's 5 years old.
Yeah.
The parents said, watch us fuck.
Yeah.
We're going to build a new John.
Right. A good one, an MC.
But they didn't know he was going to be fat. No, Big Fat John's watching. So they're building MC John.
Right.
Did they know? Did they hope that he would be an MC, or is that just an accident?
Yeah, I think they wanted to make an MC. Or a lawn keeper, you could make that change. They wanted him to be maybe it's a family of gardeners. So then the irony is that Big Fat John was like, you're too fat to garden. We're going to make a great John. Then they made a John that was a good MC, but who is like, he toes the family line. Like he's like, I like to mow the lawn, but really he's an MC. I don't know.
Is that
too complicated?
Is Big Fat John at heart a better gardener than MC John?
Well, obviously our heart goes out to Big Fat John. He's the Dinklage of this Game of Thrones. Like we all know what it feels like to be like, a misfit and like not loved.
I mean, I admire his courage to even step into the MC, like the rapping milieu.
Well, I think he was thrust into it. I think that was actually a really awkward situation. Like I think someone mistook him for his brother and shoved him in, and he was like, "I'm Big Fat John. I don't rap." I think that was sad. I thought that was sad.
Is he much fatter? Is he so fat?
No, he's a regular size. It's just a horrible world with a bad body image. It's like a regular sized person with a normal metabolism. It's like he just has grown up in a world of Cindy Crawford billboards. Dating myself. Whoever your Cindy Crawford is, Hologram Crawford. This new generation. Cindy Meat.
Cindy Meats.
It's probably a porpoise, fucking weirdos.
Have you got a new porn fetish? Like it used to be like...
Yeah, I got married and then I was just like, I'm going to scratch some new itches.
I don't mean like is it still stockings and nipples rubbings and things like that? Mannequins and
nipple
whatnot?
rubbings. First of all, everyone likes their nipples rubbed.
I don't like my nipples rubbed that much. I really
rub
don't.
them right.
Huh? Why don't you come over and rub my nipples?
I don't want to rub your nipples.
One time I was wearing some socks that were like sheer, like sock, and I showed you them, and you touched them, and you're like, "Whoa!" Because like you're like, what am I doing? This is my thing. I like to rub
Oh,
stockings.
you were wearing socks that were like kind of nylon-y.
Yeah, and you were like, whoa, what the hell?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I get mad when I like people wear things that I'm like, oh, that's my fetish, but it's like, but you're not my wife, and also like, you work at a bank.
So what's the look?
What's the what?
What's the look? What's the outfit?
What do you
said
I don't know. It could be
thing.
anything. What do you mean? What's the look?
You said like you see something.
I'm saying like I see like a little bit of like leg with like any kind of like nylon on it. I'm not saying like I see a outfit. I'm saying like the fetish is for.
It's simply legs and nylons.
Yeah.
You okay?
I feel like we've been over it, and I feel like we're not making progress by me talking about.
I feel like
we're like a sideshow freak.
I feel like we're near a breakthrough right now.
No, it's just a thing. Everybody's got buttons, right? You guys have buttons, little sexual buttons.
Sexual.
You know who I envy? These people who get turned on by bare legs, high heels, big tits, and like a can of beer, like because it's clearly their planet. Like. You're like driving down the street, and it's like, hey, Big Bang Theory's on 5 nights a week, and it's like some ironic thing of like a woman going, ooh, Big Bang Theory, and there's a can of beer between her tits. I don't know why I'm throwing Big Bang Theory under the bus. I just mean like any product that would be like where the joke is that it's supposed to be sexual, but like I look at it and I go, well, that's not sexual. That's like a parody of sexuality. But there are some people in the world who are like, funny joke, plus I'm jerking off. Because I also, there's a lot of stuff that I am like I'm sure people, like I've said on the podcast, like there's people would if they were walking past it on the street, they'd be like, that's nothing. That's a fire hydrant. And I'd be like, that's my jam.
I was telling you backstage that I was at a party last night that was very pansexual. It was kind of all over the shop, and there's people that were trans, and also like I don't know the words. I will get them all wrong. I don't know all the names for things that people are or don't want to be called or whatever. But a friend of mine who is gay, but he is a man, but he's into other men, but he likes to date straight men because he wants men.
Those are colored people. You said you don't know the phrases. That's colored people.
Colored people?
Did they change that?
Are you my grandma? My grandma would look at the window. She was the nicest lady in the world, but she'd look at the window. Colored people.
My grandparents too, but they were taught that was their African American, and we've kind of we always do that. Like in the 90s, like the African American thing was trotted out. It was never retracted, but like I think there might be I don't even, for all I know, it's now. I haven't even checked in on this, and how would you? Remember when Kramer was apologizing for his little meltdown on Letterman, and he called black people Afro-Americans, like, and it was like this really weird, striking thing. I mean, like colored people was introduced. It was supposed to be like it was supposed to be a healthy thing. The National Association for whatever the blah 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 colored people has colored people right in their name. Advancement. I know what it is. I mean, it was a fine thing, and then we're like, oh, grandma, but she's like saying it. She's trying to do it right. She's like, oh, there's a colored gentleman. I remember, yeah, it's funny. Our grandma's generation.
So my friend says he goes like, I want men to treat me like a lady, but he's not a woman. He's a guy, but he likes straight men. I'm like, wait, so what? He goes, your last boyfriend was a straight guy? He goes, yeah. He goes, my last boyfriend was straight. And I go, did you guys fuck? He goes, yeah, all the time. And I was like, wait, how does that work? And he goes, ain't no fag gonna fuck me like that. I'm like, that's fucking fascinating. And so he prefers straight dick to gay dick, but it seems like it's pretty gay dick too.
It's got a lot of us say as with the. It's like that. I think that's the Heisenberg principle. That if you can observe a straight dick in a gay butt or mouth. The moment you have observed it as straight, it becomes gay. But that's straight talk. That's heteronormative psychology. He should know better. He's the expert when he's being fucked by a straight guy and when he's being fucked by a gay guy.
The customer's always right, man.
It's up to him what he wants to call his customers. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I that's the thing. Like, what was I gonna say? Probably something inflammatory and dated and clumsy.
Were you still talking about colored people?
No, I wasn't gonna talk about colored people. Colored people, they're on their own. The world's become too complicated. Colored people, you're on your own. The what was it about sexuality? I was trying to remember. I was thinking of something when you were talking about that.
I just like the fact that as we grow up, I think we've talked about this a bit, and of course, very poorly educated conversations about it. Is that when we grew up, like it was this, that, or the other. There was only kind of 3 or 4 Crayolas in that box. Now there's a bunch, which is great. But I just don't know. Like, I don't really have the vocabulary for it.
Also, there was this switch, which I totally understand, but it was a definite switch from our generation to this new generation, which is that now you're supposed to ask a little bit, which in our day, because there was only so many things and being different just got you beat up. And I kind of tried to broach this with when Curtis was here. We were talking about Revenge of the Nerds, which he totally said, like you watch that movie and it's like, yeah, politically correct, through the politically correct lens, that movie now commits more crimes than it ever solved. But the interesting thing about when you watch that movie is that you can, if you want to understand like the Gen X like concept of political correctness and progress, all we ever understood was going from bullying, going from bigotry to dropping that. And so when you watch like these 80s movies where like underdogs are the new heroes, what you're seeing is a lot of, for lack of a better word, ignorance, like ignoring what makes people different. So like you see like just unlikely families, and one of them's gay, and one of them, but they don't make gay jokes. They don't beat him up for being gay, so he's one of the family. And then this guy smokes pot, and they smoke pot with him, and it's just like they're all put in this big pot. And that's the Gen X version of progress: is that we stop hurting each other. And so and that's when I ran into trouble, recently, or a couple months ago, 6 months ago now, it was when our friend Jane was up, whose Earthshine you said you brought to that party, and it was a big hit. Yeah, Jane should know that.
I have to, Jane's not here, I don't imagine, but I have to get, Jane, if you're listening, I have to get in touch with you because I brought your absinthe to a party, and it was everybody's favorite thing, and I'm being tweeted about it a lot because everybody got stoned to the tits on the fucking absinthe. It was very good.
I was drunk and I used the wrong pronoun 1,000 times with her because she was presenting very male, and I was just drunk and whatever. And then someone complained on Twitter, and then I did not ingratiate myself to the community with my response, which was like, if that's what you took away from the podcast, you are too sensitive or whatever. And I was like, ah! But the interesting takeaway that I took from all of that was like, you know what? If you use that as a yardstick, like way out there, this like crazy new world. The word "crazy" offensive now, but in reference to some of the stuff. But like, you're actually supposed to now explore and ask, which was like kind of like goes back to like 60s and 70s, kind of like when we were at a high of our like Norman Lear kind of driven like let's end racism, but then like the 80s, 90s and things kind of ushered in this world of like, you know what, put your hands in your pockets, look at the ground, and as long as you're not hurting anybody, you're actually like for progress. And it's like the way I put it was like when I was a kid on the playground, anybody that like asked you if you're a boy or a girl or what you preferred to be, that was called a bully. It was like I was asked that a lot. I was asked if I was straight or gay. I was asked if I was a boy or a girl. I was asked why I don't shower. I was asked all kinds of questions, and they were not fun questions to be asked, and I was not happy to be asked them, and the answers were not going to make anyone happy, and no one was seeking any actual answers. And so there's a kind of psychology there where you go, I'm going to be a hip modern person when I grow up, and I'm going to go with the flow. And then now we're entering this new world. We're going with the flow. All of a sudden now we can end up being the tide of bigotry by going with the flow. Fart corner! When you want the second bar. Wait, what's his name? Richard Jenkins, who made that song? Academy Award winner.
Kevin MacLeod.
Kevin MacLeod, there can be only two. Make another version of that song with like a little bar, give me a little ramp, Kevin.
Yeah.
And if your head comes away from your neck, it's over. Where's the camera? Where's the camera when that red light goes off and then there's no red light anywhere?
It goes to another camera behind you.
Oh, there's a camera behind us.
No, if you're looking there, the red light will go on somewhere else. See, now it's over there. Now it's up there. Now it's going to be over there.
Holy ground, Highlander. All right.
MacLeod's the Highlander's name.
Yeah, MacLeod is Highlander's name. Thanks for backing me up, guys. All right, so, yeah, Netflix seems popular. That was my one thing I wrote on my notepad. We sang some songs. We talked about race and sexual preference again. We finally solved it, I think.
I think we did.
It was International Women's Day today? Was that today? Or?
Yeah, and as someone wrote, the only day in the year that has 23 hours in it. No. Seems kind of fucked up.
I tweeted a bit like that I thought deserved more response because I combined it with that blackout day that just happened, which I don't even know or understand. But I also looked enough to see that me trying to understand it is like not the point. And so I tweeted this morning, Jeff, you'll like this. International Women's Day, right after Blackout Day. Wait, no, what did I grant your Blackout Day and International Women's Day, and I remind you that white men control the length of days. I don't remember what I tweeted.
Wow. Dan, can I go back a little bit? Because I wrote a note down while you were doing your earlier rap of the family song. Did I hear you correctly? Did you say spiders and sodomy?
No, but I wish I had.
What was it? Spiders inside of me, or spiders to the right of me?
Spiders to the right of me. Yeah.
I thought for sure you said spiders and sodomy.
Spiders to the left of me, leprechauns to the right. I think, or something like that. Yeah, or something like that. God damn it! I wish that song began in a way that let me like really lean into it.
I think that you can really start. You can declare the one for yourself wherever you like it.
It distracts me. Something. This song is like resolving things, and then I'm on a different path.
Should we try a new song? I don't think they're as good, though. But what about the... Remember this one? Yeah, so you don't seem very happy about that. I'm going to play a couple others just to remind you how much you like the disco song by Kevin MacLeod.
See if anything like it's like holding like... It's like eating liver. Yeah. Winter, summer, spring, fall. Fucked your mama till she was 3 feet taller. Banged her on the head with my dick like my dick was a hammer and she got sick. Now she's in the bathroom and she's throwing up. So I feel bad and I bought her a puppy. Took it to the vet. They said, you can't get it neutered yet. You gotta take it home and put it in a crate and let it outside when it pees. That's great. So it knows to pee outside. I fucked your mama so hard, she's now 3 feet wide. She's 3 feet tall, 3 feet wide. Your mama's a sphere. I can't keep her inside. I gotta put her on the lawn and play with her. Your mama's Raymond Burr. It's an actor from the 80s. I fuck all the ladies, like 80s icons. You will see a glass of my pee. Well, wait, is that a new character? The lazy rapper? Like a glass of my pee. I don't know. Put some pee in some poo and fucked your mama like she was a shoe. Snoop Dogg kind of phones it in, so why don't I? I fucked your mama in a bin. A mama bin. I went to the store where they sell them in. I bought 2 mama bins and took your mama home. I fucked it with my friend and my cousin Jerome. The same person. I'm very close with my family. I'm a lazy rapper. I fucked your mama in the crapper. I fucked your mama like my name was...
This is a lazy rapper. Look how lazy this guy is. He just ate up 6 measures. Wait, I'm trying to think of it. So lazy. This better pay off.
You can't rhyme crapper with crapper, but where's that guy going? I'm not working the crowd, I'm just fucking your mama because the bitch is too loud. That's my cure for snoring. Fuck your mama so hot you can't be ignoring. I'm a lazy rapper and I'm putting no effort in. Fuck your mama in a bin. All right. He's a lazy rapper. Thanks, guys. Thanks.
I feel like the only difference between lazy rapper and your normal rapping is that it's just less loud.
Yeah. No, it's a style choice.
It's the same quality of rap.
Just like, they all have different styles. Like 50 Cent, he raps like this all the time. And I think I'm rapping all the time. I'm 50 Cent and I'm like a bird.
Wait.
And then Snoop Dogg.
I need to hear you do some 50 Cent for it.
Well, it's got to be kind of a, yeah.
Okay, give me some 50.
Well, okay, I'll try, but... Okay. Yo, I'm 50 Cent and I'm here to say I cost 50 cents every day. I might fuck your mama here and there. But he's faster. I mean, what am I doing? But I'm just saying he has a cadence. He has a style. And then Snoop Dogg's like, don't, wake him, you know? Okay, right. Cause I'm a Snoop Dogg and I hold the home at the hole and I put the mama poo in the hole. Gotta yow baby bo baby do. Gotta put your mama in a boot and a shoe. I'm a Snoop Dogg rapper. 50 Cent is now rapping. I'm a Snoop Dogg and I'm now Snoop Dogg. Ghostface Killer! No, I'm kidding. I don't know.
Dan, you have a gift.
Thank you. I'm the Rich Little of 90s rappers. But except for 50 Cent, who'd probably shoot me for saying that. What is it? His name is 50 Cents because they pulled 50 cents worth of metal out of him when he got shot. Was that the idea? That's why he got the name 50 Cent?
Don't ask our crowd.
I thought that was it. I remember looking that up. Like he got shot and survived, and then they pulled like enough metal out of him to make 50 cents. I don't know, something like that. I don't think I'm getting it right, but it's close to that. Black people don't have it easy, and cops are bad. All right, moving on. But there are some cool cops. But we've already talked about that. Obviously, there's some cool everything. If all cops were evil, we would have figured it out by now. Like for instance, if we all of a sudden had the internet, all of a sudden you'd be seeing all these videos of them murdering people. It would just start happening like that overnight. It has. But I think I've met cool cops. Have you ever met a cop and like hung out and like just hung out like an off-duty cop?
When I was in college, I was a journalism student, and I did a piece where I interviewed a cop. I'll tell you about this. I had to go. You had to write something about like the police force, whatever. So I met a cop back in Whittier that I hated because he was an asshole. He was the chief of police back in Whittier, and they had this program of harassing the homeless people. And so I sat him down. We had lunch. I took him to a Mexican restaurant, and I'm 18 years old, 19 years old. And we sat down, had lunch, and he's like, look, I don't like you. You don't like me. I do. Like he gave me the kind of you can't handle the truth. Like a Few Good Men speech. Like you need people like me on that wall. By the end of the lunch, I actually liked him. He was a human being at the end of that lunch, but I hate the way he operates. And so he was a human being after it, but I still think that he was teaching his younger officers to come and treat homeless people automatically with disrespect, and automatically as less than human.
Yeah.
And
it's like this. There's two kinds of people in this world. There's the kinds of people that think there's two kinds of people in this world, and then there's the good people, like that. And that's sort of what that's the sort of like what we call right wing and left wing in America. Like, is it because and there's this appealing thing about the idea that there's rules and that there is no chaos and that there's never an exception, because that's how you do get shit done. Is you wake up in the morning and decide that you deserve something or that something needs to get done and all this stuff. And if you did plunge yourself, exclusively into what we would call the general left kind of psyche, would you get shit done, or would you? I don't know. Like, are those the competing parts of our species? Like this idea that on one hand, everything's crazy. Oh wow, hey, fuck, you never know anything. And then the I don't know, is it like these brush cut guys that like we loathe and that make us do these rituals, and that they're constantly embarrassing themselves and getting us all into trouble and serving as an example to us. Is like, God, you can't think like that. But
it's a vicious cycle, because like I got pulled over a couple weeks ago after I just landed at LAX, was pulling out of this parking lot I always park at, ran a stop sign, which is right by the police station there. And it's like I just kind of drifted through a stop sign, and I got pulled over. But the guy came to my window. I could see him through my side view mirror. He was like a very young guy, and I really feel like he was probably a very new, like, rookie. He came at me like I had just robbed the president's bank and kicked his mom in the wallet. He was like handling his gun and freaking out, and it freaked me out. And it's like, I think that's the wrong way to approach anybody. Why does the guy keep running out of here? Is he all right?
Is it the same guy? Or
yeah,
okay.
Twice he's gone.
Well, we'll ask him when he gets back. I'm sure he'll enjoy that.
Is he an old-timey reporter that has to keep going to a phone booth outside? Stop the presses!
Harmon calls Yahoo ridiculous.
So this cop kept, and so like, you know, I want to get home. He's dropping his pen. He's super nervous.
All right, what's going on?
What's your deal, sir? What's your name?
Nate.
What are you okay? Is everything good?
Yeah, I'm really thirsty.
Because you just returned with an A&W.
Jesus, sorry.
Everything's falling to shit. You just returned with a giant 2-liter bottle of water.
Yeah.
Did you go fill it up in the bathroom or what?
No, well, just the water thing, the faucet.
It's a sink, yeah. So
can we talk to you for a second? You just hold the mic.
Yeah.
Okay, I like your shirt. Will you come and sit up here so the cameras can see your shirt? Because this guy's got a shirt that says "Cooking for Jesus."
All right. Sit anywhere you like. There you go.
Bring your giant water bottle up there too, because you're a very thirsty fellow. Are you so into hydration that this is a thing, or is this like a that's how much water you're going to drink during our performance tonight?
Oh no, I just get nervous and stuff. So
you get nervous.
Yeah.
And when you get nervous, you sprint off.
So wait, but you ran twice. So what was the first time was to pee, and the second time was to fill up with more pre-pee?
Yeah.
Are you you don't feel attacked right now, right?
No,
you
good.
feel safe.
No.
Okay, good. I'm not making a joke when I say that. Like you're not a freak. Like we just want to know what you're a journey for us.
Now this diet A&W root beer bottle. Had you drunk that root beer at some point today too, or is this your water bottle?
No, it's just my water bottle.
That's what you carry around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, at all times.
Well, I mean, I get a different one sometimes, but
Are you on a? Is it a kick that you're on right now, like a diet where you have to drink a lot of water?
no, I don't know.
Is this something you've always done?
No,
It's 80% of the earth. You're the good guy. Like we
yeah,
should all
yeah.
drink more water.
I got sick, and then I got really paranoid that if I didn't drink water, I'd get a sore throat.
Oh.
So it's like,
How much water do you think you drink a day? Because what is it, like 80 to 100 liters a day? Not 100 liters, but what do they say?
80 to 100 liters of water a day.
What's your name?
Nate.
Nate. How much water are you getting through a day, do you think?
I had maybe like 4 of these.
4 of those?
I feel like you're asking the wrong questions. Like, wait, is it because you're being evasive, aren't you? Like, you know that it's weird to drink this much water and with this much urgency, and you're not just telling us what we need to know. Okay. Are you diabetic?
He said
no.
You got a cold, and now you have a little.
So that's it, just to stave off like a feeling that you're going to get sick.
Yeah, it's like a. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What placebo? Someone just sung placebo. Like
No, I mean that's the greatest addiction to have is to run off and drink water.
God, I wish.
I would, but I would not. There's a sink here that you're just filling up in. I wouldn't drink out of the LA tap water.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh.
Someone said that's how you got your sore throat. I always wonder about that too. Okay. So Nate, any advice out there for people out there that want to drink more water? I'm a bad interviewer.
You make Arsenio Hall look like Mike Wallace.
Well, I guess thank you for bravely coming up and giving us more answers.
And also, Nate, if at any moment, Nate, you have to get up and run out and go pee, we're not gonna make a deal out of it.
Wait, what did you just say, Nate? Did you ask a question? What?
Oh, can we just talk about like something other than water?
Oh, something other than water. Well, we have another guest here to do that.
Okay.
And so far, all you are is.
Whoa.
So far, all you are is the water guy. I mean, you can't.
What's on your mind, Nate? Have you got some pressing issue?
You can't just drink so much water that we get your opinions about Obama. That's not fair. That's what Donald Trump tries to do. I'll build a bunch of buildings and then I'll have opinions. You can't. There's
Wait,
not enough.
That was 50 Cent. The emperor has no clothes. He's so thirsty.
God, I really think you go to the doctor and just say, Dan Harmon said to ask, am I diabetic?
Okay.
Wait,
just in case.
Are you diagnosing him as diabetic?
No, I'm telling his doctor to.
Are diabetics notoriously thirsty?
Yes, that's one of the big symptoms when you're not diagnosed yet. That's the first thing that happens. It's like I'm so thirsty, and then you go in and they're like, yeah, motherfucker, goodbye ice cream. Welcome to
But who else besides me right now is getting thirsty just having this conversation? I guess everybody wants a drink. Pass your bottle around. Nate, what's on your mind, real quick? Is there anything pressing?
Okay, yeah. What would you talk to us about if you
got the conch for a while? What would you lay down on us?
Okay, I don't know. This is kind of like a question my friend had. Like, so he said like.
This is a good start. It's a good start. Your friend said.
Okay, he said like, he was reading the mythology guy, the
Joseph Campbell.
Yes. And he said like, if you like, a lot of religions say that you're guilty, right? But that feels better than a feeling of like you have no say in what happens in the universe. Mm-hmm. So like, what do you think's tougher as a feeling?
Well, I mean, I think that what you named it already. What's tougher is the idea that you don't have a choice in anything. I mean, we can't handle that. We don't perceive the world that way. We make choices in real time. We think of them as choices. It's only the introduction of philosophy that suggests the idea, the technical concept that we technically don't choose anything. And the irony is that probably that's true. I mean, it almost obviously is, because there's. What the hell is choice? I mean, that debate will drive you crazy, because if all of the circumstances are the same, then that would be like saying that I flip a coin somewhere in my brain, like on some primal level, and that would be something that we didn't want, because we want to think of ourselves as being creatures of some substance and not just a bunch of dice. So we believe in choice. We experience life as choice. I think choice is something we made up. We also made up like the idea of like, any kind of like, organization to everything, because what is it? We're living in a very, very slowed down giant explosion.
Nate's had 3 sips of water during that.
I'm making him very nervous. Yeah.
Is it a nervous response? It's got to be something has to be related to a nervous response there. You're not that thirsty. Is it possible?
I'm really not that thirsty.
Yeah. Is that like Lannis's blanket for you?
Yeah, it's like a tick almost.
Oh yeah, I got that. We all have our own ticks. That's a very healthy one to have, by the way.
Yeah.
Mine is PCP.
I strangle a prostitute. Like, I have to touch the light switch 3 times before I leave the house, and then I'm like, you're just like the others. Okay, now I can edit.
Nate, everybody, thank you, Nate.
Hey, Nate. Thank you, Nate. Always
Harmontown's thirstiest fan.
I always appreciate it when people come up here and they subject themselves to the scrutiny of the spotlight.
We were just worried because you darted out here like something.
Oh, I was trying to make it like not awkward, you know.
Mission unaccomplished.
All right.
From now on, Nate, just walk at any pace you like. You can sprint out, you can jog out, you can walk out, you can crawl out. We're not going to make it. We're not going to make a deal out of it.
I mean, look at Anatoly next to you. This fucking guy. Don't move. I'm taking a picture of this. This is like the height of balls.
Is that Garcia Lorca on your shirt? Who is that?
It's Anton Chekhov.
Anton Chekhov. Yeah. All right. He had the greatest death of all time. As far as I know, do you know the circumstances of his death, Anatoly?
No.
As far as I read that he was quite an old man, like I think it's in his 80s or so, and he was on his plantation or whatever, like his estate, and he and his old wife, who he'd been with forever, they had a family over, and he would walk out in the garden, and he would just improvise stories for his grandchildren, and they would go like, "Grandpa, just, the lamp post," and he would just improvise a story for them. So all the family goes away. He comes back in. The family goes home. It's just he and his old wife. And she says, let's have champagne and some strawberries or something. And he goes, I haven't had champagne in a very long time. I think I'll rest. And so she goes off to get the champagne. When she comes back, he's laying on the couch dead with a smile on his face. And she sits down next to him and drinks the champagne and has the strawberries. And just like, she's like, fuck it, that's a great death. And then at his funeral, I guess all these Russians turned out to go to his funeral. And I might have this wrong. Somebody please fact check this. But I think it's Chekhov's death, where they all go, his coffin's on a train car, and they all march behind the train car in the cold rain or whatever, and it's a bunch of fancy pants society people that all want to go mourn Chekhov's death. They realize also it smells like crap because they're following the wrong train, and it's got oysters on it, and it's rotting fish. And they had followed for miles the wrong train, and they had to go all the way back the other direction to follow the right train back. And his friends of Chekhov said it's like he wrote his own funeral, because that's exactly what he would have written. But falling asleep while your wife is off to get champagne and her coming back and you have a smile on your face and she finishes the champagne is groovy. I like that.
You know, you hold your breath though because you go like, well, okay, so I would come back and I would be like, ah, no, no. And in between, like shaking the corpse, I'd be like, "Why couldn't you have done it after calling me a cunt?"
Why is that better?
Because what the fuck? I was looking forward to having champagne, like the one afternoon.
They were in their 80s. Nice. They're old people. It's gonna happen.
Like ostensibly, they've done it before. No, I know I'm the bad guy, but I'm saying like that's why I'm afraid. That's fear of death is the thing that makes you go no. Like I want the good things. I want to cling to the
80s and let's say you're 90 and Aaron would be what 80? 80? How much younger
should be
is she?
Like 23.
She's 23, right? That's right. I forgot she's a fetus right now.
Yeah.
And you're in your like old people, and if you peacefully passed away at 90 years old, and she came in with a bottle of Kettle One and sat down next to you, and you had a smile on your face, it's a pleasant way to go.
I'm gonna cry thinking about that. That's so fucked up.
You're 90 years old in the story.
But it's just that would have been the first afternoon that I stopped working, and I would be like oh, let's have some Kettle One. Like like maybe once it gets boring, like maybe like a good death would be like, okay, let's go to Costco, and she's like, I'll go get the card, and then she comes back and I'm dead. And she'd be like, she'd look at my corpse and look at the card and be like, I can go to Albertsons because no bulk.
What's like Greg?
And it's like, yeah, he nailed his death. We don't have to go to Costco.
Like Greg Proops' joke where there was a big furor when they found out that Jimi Hendrix had lied about being gay to get out of the Vietnam War, and Greg said, I lied about being gay last Wednesday to get out of going to Home Depot.
All right, wait, can we? He graciously, like, I told him to come because there's never been a more overwhelming demand for somebody to come back, specifically for his performance in Shadowrun. Curtis Armstrong came back.
Oh, shit! How special.
Thank you. Thank you. Hi. Thank you. Gosh, I've never been asked back anywhere.
Oh, gosh.
Dan,
usually they're so relieved.
After the show last time, we were like, you'd split, and we were back in the green room.
Yeah.
And Dan's like, I really want him to come back. I'm like, ask him. He's like, I don't know. Like, that seems like forward. I'm like, it's better to ask and him say no. Like, let's just ask.
Well, like I'm going to say no. But, I mean, you said last week, you said, you have to come back. Everybody always says you have to come back, and then you never hear from them again.
Oh, is that what's going on the other side of those conversations?
Yeah.
Because I always
So
go, you
I
have to
was
come back,
thinking-
and then they go, yeah, then they...
No. What was happening in this case was you said to me, we have to have you back. And I said, great, that would be great. And then I walked out thinking, well, he'll never have me back.
This is great.
And-
wow, what
and
a great new
then
family member.
I actually get asked back. No one ever does that.
Now you have to come back every week for sure.
That's cool. I
Which you'll do until this season of King of the Nerds
gets picked up,
and
then I don't have to.
Yeah,
so
and then you'll be
I'm
like,
here.
"Fuck you, nerds!" Fly away in your biplane. That's how I picture rich people.
Yeah.
You're just flying in a biplane.
Yeah. I'm not seeing that.
We should. Let's also let's bring out a tidal wave of friends. Let's bring out Spencer.
Spencer,
Crittenden. Spencer, get your cheeks out here.
He may have. Okay, Spencer's
he was
getting
back
high
there.
in the back or something.
He was back there somewhere. I saw
Well,
him.
he probably. But when we brought you up, he's probably like, I probably have about 10 minutes to do what needs to be done. And he grabbed his rubber hose
If I know
and his
Spencer,
needle.
what time is it? It's 9:03. If I know Spencer, he's giving cut rate hand jobs out in the parking lot right now.
I do it because I like to do it. That's the thing. That's the thing about hand jobs. I like giving them. But no one ever tells you. Yeah, well, you should just give them. That's Spencer impression. Like ran on some rocks.
Wow.
You really are a bad impressionist.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's just learning new things about your coworkers.
Do you have any impression? I will not make you do them, but are you a person that has impressions in you, or do you not? Have
Oh
any
no! I don't really have impressions.
I'm not very good.
I as a child.
Did you hear
did.
Dan's?
Nice.
Hey, here he is.
Well, out in the parking lot, he's giving HJs.
Looks like are you bringing those to flaunt? You've got water in every pocket.
Oh, yeah. There's more than one guy that drinks an abnormal amount of water, Dan.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry I came on and I cut you off. That was
It's
very
all right.
rude of me.
It's all right. I actually had started a water backstage, but I left it there because I was self-conscious after.
Jesus, I don't want to be the anti-water guy.
I figured you'd start in on me.
I still think
Curtis.
Curtis. I still think that guy is being dodgy.
It's cool, man. I'm cool.
He got up twice. This is what I don't understand.
How
thirsty can you
within
be?
45 seconds, if my memory is correct, I was very close together.
So one time was to pee and one time was to get water, but water is part of his life. I don't know. I think the guy is like shady and dishonest and a terrible person.
I don't think so. He's cooking for Jesus.
Obviously, I'm kidding. I just, we're concerned about our fans when they go running like that.
I do.
So all right. So where did we leave off? Moonlighting.
That's where we left off.
My wife is not coming this week.
She's not coming this week.
So
she doesn't get to ask me those really awkward questions that I had to follow up each time because I wasn't sure what she meant.
Yeah. She is sick. I don't know how much more I'm supposed to say.
I'm sorry.
She's pooping a lot. She's puking. She's
Sounds
that's
like
terrible.
diabetes.
She thought it was food poisoning. By the way, my lovely wife, I just listened to their first episode of her new podcast that she's doing with Wayne Fetterman called Human Conversation. It's 55 minutes of your life. It's not that big a deal. Give it a listen. It's like
Raves Dan Harmon from the Chicago Tribune.
it's a pleasant chat. I mean, honestly, I've only listened to one episode. There's something kind of addictive about it. It's like it sort of harkens back to a kind of like I don't know, morning or afternoon, like kind of. It's just a man and a woman. They're just chatting, and it's kind of it's funny to me. I listen to it, but then again, I'm a big fan of my wife. I don't know. But this Wayne Fetterman fellow seems very, very funny too. He's kind of like
he's coaching her basketball team, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And he sort of has a kind of like an old man sensibility that kind of like I don't know, like liberates you to look at the world randomly or afresh. Like he doesn't use profanity, and I don't know. It's funny when I think about how he must see me. Like, why does he have to be angry? Anyways, Curtis.
Yeah. I know. Where do you start, right? I mean, I feel like you were sort of on a roll, and then I came out. And
No.
Curtis, you're sitting only 3 feet away from one of the greatest, most gifted interviewers of all time.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah,
I know. I've been here before.
Be prepared to answer some very trenchant, very salient questions.
Okay, fire away, man.
When did you lose your virginity? And
lost-
how and why? In any order.
Okay. I lost my virginity at the age of 21 or 2.
Hold your
Jill?
She's here?
Unbelievable!
Was it Jill?
It's Jill. She's here. I lost my virginity at the age of 21 or 22 in Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Whoa.
Sounds like you're making that up.
I'm not.
So you had a gal in Kalamazoo.
Zoo. And she took pity on me where none had before.
Oh.
And she deprived me of my virginity.
Now,
but only once.
Is this still the same Curtis that was playing tableau violin up in your...
No, this is a slightly later Curtis,
Okay.
Just by a couple of years.
What was your bag at age 21, 22?
I did English accents because I thought it might make me more attractive. So I would learn to do English accents.
Right.
And in fact, I remember Jill telling me that the reason she actually slept with me was because of my English accent. So it worked.
How did she encounter it? Like how?
Well, because I would do it.
But I mean, like, well, so you were working the fry window, and you're like, "Would you like more fries with that, governor?"
No. It was a more. It wasn't like a governor one. It was more of a.
Could you do it by region? Like you say accents. Like could you do regional?
Yeah, I would
British
do. Well,
dialects?
I mean, I would do my idea of regions, but it would be like a bad Cockney, and then there would be it would be Nigel Bruce. It would be a Cockney or extraordinary Holmes, that sort of thing.
That's a very good Nigel Bruce, by the way. You can do impressions. That's very good.
Well, that was it. That was one. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
I
very
did
good.
do that one. I used to do them when I was a child.
I think Nigel Bruce is too blustery as
I agree
as
with
Holmes.
you. He is
as
as Watson.
rather.
Yes, he's too blustery, but I loved him.
Yeah, he's great.
He's not Watson, but I loved him.
Yeah, he's not.
And I found I could do him. Now, doing Nigel Bruce doesn't get you laid.
With
You would
Jill,
have to
unless you're doing Nigel Bruce.
Unless you're that's right.
who only has sex with straight men. It's a callback.
My favorite part of that thud of a joke was watching the lights and the camera trying to find where the comedy was. The director's like, something funny has to be going on right now. Hold it.
But do I take it this young lady and you were part of the same theatrical community?
Yes,
maybe?
we were in school, in college, and
so
I
you were a
I had done a part in a play that somebody had written, and I did it with an English accent, not because it was required, but because I thought it would be a good chance to show off my English accent, and it worked.
All right. Well, we're getting to know you, and I'm trying to play it cool, but it's 9/11, and we're trying to establish a tradition here at 9/11.
Oh my God!
What do? We make a. We never get this.
Oh,
right.
it was the 9/11 thing from last week.
Did we just sing the 9/11 song? Hit it.
Not 9/11 song coming. Right
No, that's probably going to be offensive. Okay. That's going to end up offensive. Oh, not if it's sultry though. Yeah. Oh. Why'd you have to bring those towers down? Why'd you have to bring my country a frown? We're just trying to be free. Why you gotta attack me? Lay your terrorist body down to the break of dawn. Yo, Al-Qaeda, why you gotta be like that? Ain't no fighting. Ain't it gotta be a spat? Yo, Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan ain't trying to do it in Iraq and Iran. I'm just trying to be cool in New York. I gotta look up to the sky and see fallen pork. What I thought, but I found out it's fucked up. I'm gonna cry. I'm traumatized. I saw a guy who told me it was P to the TSD. I thought, shouldn't get that in the city, you see. I'm just a deli worker and a rapper on the side, trying to lay it low and open up wide, and to live my life and pay my revenues. Fuck you, Al-Qaeda. Why you choose to attack us? 'Cause you're gonna be no freedom. Why you hate a way of life, you gotta attack us. 2 towers and 2 states of mind. When you look beyond it, you'll find that everybody just wants to get down. Got a tower on the left and now it's down. Why the fuck you do that? Now everybody's changed and the language is changing oh shit, I can't rap anymore. I'm all broken up because of 9/11. All right. Okay.
Jesus. Wow.
The final casualty of 9/11 is your ability to rap.
I blamed it on 9/11. Yeah. Do you want a drink, Curtis? Or
I might have one in a minute. I'm okay right now, thank you.
Well, when
I'll
you
take
do,
that.
take the cup because otherwise I'm digging in your ice, and
that's all right.
It'll be a reminder that I've been digging the ice all night.
Okay. Yeah.
So Jill, where did it go down with Jill?
Oh, where did it go down with Jill?
Where did it happen?
In my room at the college.
You have an apartment, a dorm, or what?
Dorm, yeah.
Dorm, yeah.
Yeah, and it was just once.
Yeah. Never again. One timer.
No, that was it. I mean, since then, yes, but but with Jill, it was just the one.
Enjoyable? Was it a good time?
It was very quick. It was very quick, but yeah.
I mean, she only needed the one. It went perfectly.
Once it's done, then it's done, and you move on with your life.
Yeah.
And she did, and I never found anyone who was as attracted to the English accent after that. No. That was like a one-time thing that worked.
Did you try the English accent?
Yeah, I still do.
Really?
And yeah.
One time I was at a bar. I had a roommate who was Irish, and we were at a bar pretending to do Scottish accents, and there was nobody at this bar.
He was Irish, but he was pretending to do Scottish accents?
He was from Dublin, and we were hanging out at the 3 clubs, and there was nobody in the bar but us and the bartenders, and they were far down the other side of the room. And so, for some reason, he was talking about a friend of his, and he was doing a Scottish accent to tell the story. And so I started doing it, too. And then these girls came up next to us and ordered drinks, and they're like, "Oh, where are you guys from?" And he's like, "Oh, it's from Aberdeen." And he could really do it, and I could kind of do it. And so he was nailing it, and they're like, "Oh my God, your accent is so great!" And then all their friends showed up, and more girls. Now the bartenders they knew me, and they knew that we weren't Scottish earlier in that evening. Now we're doing it because now we just don't want to. Now it's just embarrassing to stop doing it. And we thought any moment these girls will get their drinks, go leave, sit down somewhere, and leave us. That'll be that. And more people came around, and it's like, are you from? I've been to Aberdeen, and he. Okay, now.
Oh, now you're in trouble.
But he's like, how far is Aberdeen from Leith? I was like, it's about 45 minutes to go up there, and like and he knew all the fucking shit. And so there was one girl there. Her name was Mouse, and I had never met this girl in my life.
Was she a DJ?
She actually was a DJ.
Okay, all right. Well,
well spotted. But I had not met this girl in my life, and so
it was either that or her parents raised her in a basement. Probably both.
So I kept seeing her every 2 weeks for the rest of time. For the rest of eternity, I kept running into her, and we had talked for a good 45 minutes in me doing this bullshit Scottish accent. So every time I see her, she'd walk into another bar on a different side of town, and I would turn to whoever I was next to and go, okay, I'm Scottish. And she's like, oh, everybody, Melinda, Carissa, this is Jeff. He's from Aberdeen, from Scotland. He's got the best accent. Oh, how do you do? Good to see you again. And I would do that, and that was so tiring. So one day, after about a year and a half of this, no, I honestly saw her a dozen times, and I kept doing it, and I felt so bad about it, and I didn't want to. Like, I wasn't getting anything out of this. She just she loved that I was from Scotland, and I was not. So I'd had enough of it. And so I went up to her, and she goes, hey, Jeff, how you doing? This is my friend Melinda. And so I'm like, hey, what's going on? And she kind of gives me like a weird look, and I said, she's like, how you doing? I'm like, I'm doing great. How you doing? And she's like, where's your accent? I go, I'm an actor, and they tell you, like, as an actor, like, you just practice speaking in an American accent as often as possible just to get good at it. And she goes, and she's still looking at me like, she goes, okay, do it. Do your American accent. I'm like, what do you want me to say? And she goes, I'd like a cheeseburger and fries. I go, I'd like a cheeseburger and fries. And she goes, well, it's okay.
I was so like right up to the 5 inches before the finish line. I was just that story was gonna be called "You're an Asshole."
Yeah. Oh no, that certainly is the title of the story.
Because on any given day, like in any bar in LA, there's some fuckface who's like lying to people for social profit.
It never got me laid. It never earned me a penny. I profited none off of doing that. It was just I felt it was weirder to just say, oh, I was bullshitting you the whole time. I thought I'd never see her again. And then it turns out we went to the same 3 places all the time.
It was such a weird culture shock. Like, I could barely remember being back in Wisconsin where this never happened. I remember moving from Wisconsin to L.A., and I remember going out and trying to just hang out because that's what I did in Milwaukee. Like, you just went out and just drank and made friends. And I remember small talking some guy at some bar because that my friends dragged me to, and I was like, so what do you do? And he's like, I silk screen T-shirts, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about silk screening T-shirts. How does that work? And he's like, well, you take a thing and you do this, and he's describing the whole process. And I go, so then so then do you like mass produce them and do you sell them like through like a PO box or whatever? And like he goes, I'm just fucking with you, man.
Whoa.
And I'm like, that's hilarious. I'm going to go home and write a hit TV show. Hit in quotes. Hit in quotes. No, it was a really big, like I prefer LA culture to Milwaukee culture. I think there's a heavy share of dishonesty and institutionalized alcoholism as well. Like we weren't good people just because, but we didn't have a reason to like fuck with people. That wasn't recreation. It was for assholes. You called those people assholes. If you caught somebody saying something to someone that wasn't true, that person was just an asshole. And in LA, it's like, but is he the coolest guy in the world? There's just more people, and we all came from all these different cities. And
did I tell you the story about the guy that lied to me, and I caught him in a lie at the drawing room? I don't know his name, so it's not inflammatory. I sat next to a guy, and he was, daytime drinking at the drawing room, our little dive bar. And it's like a little cheersy kind of place where everyone knows everybody. And
minus the cheers.
Minus the cheer. More sadness and more drug addicts, but
less of a clarinet and more of a 60-cycle hum that you hear when you leave the 8-inch jack, like laying in some water.
And a slight smell of methane and poop in the air. It's a great place. So this guy was sitting at the end of the bar, and he something came up, and so we're talking across the bar about the song that's in the jukebox or whatever. So we're having a conversation. So I just scoot down so we're not yelling. So, and I sit near him, and we're having a conversation. What do you do? He's like, I'm a writer. I'm a filmmaker. I live up in the Los Feliz Hills here, and I got a great house. I'm married. I got this. It's just like life is fantastic. I'm doing what I want. I'm making these movies. No one watches them. They're kind of they're kind of for nothing. And I'm usually broke. I'm mortgaging the house all the time. But it's like I'm doing what I love. I'm like that's fantastic. And he never once asked me what I did, which is a very common thing. Having conversation with people in Los Angeles or strangers. He just kind of went in this monologue about how awesome things were. And so I just kept asking him questions. I'm like, where'd you grow up? I grew up here in L.A. I said, what did you do before filmmaking? He's like, well, I'm kind of a failed actor. I was an actor. I did theater as a kid. I go, oh, me too. I did theater as a kid. And he goes, yeah, I was on Broadway as a kid. I said, oh, so was I. And I said, what show did you do on Broadway? And he goes, I'm like, okay, now he's lying because you don't remember.
Right.
You don't forget the show you were on in Broadway.
Oh my God.
It was the thing with the guy. You remember the fucking show that you did on Broadway.
Yeah.
So he's fishing for it, and he goes, it's the one with it's the one with
the tits and the feathers.
Now, what he doesn't know is he's now walking towards saying that he was on. And also, I found out he's my age. He's a year older than I am. He says that he's in. He goes, it's the one with the bald guy, Yul Brynner. That go, The King and I.
No.
Now
That's Jeff
Curtis.
was in The King and I.
I was on Broadway in 1985 in The King and I. So I go. No, at that point I go. Oh, how old are you? Because it might have been a different production of it. And he goes, I'm 41 or whatever he was. He's a couple years older than me at the time. I'm like, okay. So you, how old would you have been at the time? He's like, I guess that would have been. I would have been about 11, 12 years old. And now, so then Yul Brynner was dead at that point because I was the last guy to play. I said, what role did you play? And he goes, I played the kid. I go, Louis? Yeah, I played Louis. Because there's only one white kid in The King and I. The other kids are all the Siamese kids of the king,
Right.
And the prince. And so I'm sitting there like, he's like that's such a crazy thing to say. Also, I thought he was lying when he didn't know the name of it. So I'm sitting there, and we talked for I would say a solid 45 minutes, an hour about his life and about everything. And I learned all this stuff, and now I'm just kind of reeling. Okay, everything he said has been bullshit. So I said, so that would have been 85. Are you sure it wasn't like a few years before? Because or maybe a few years like. And he goes, no, I did it with Yul Brynner. I played Louis in The King and I, 1985, and I was like, I said, so did I. and he, his hair fucking went white. And he goes, I said, and so I was trying to take him off the hook. I said, look, when I was doing it, and also, by the way, I never missed a performance. So like, there's not even a chance that he was an understudy. I wondered maybe he was one of my understudies because there were 7 of them. And I thought, oh, fuck, maybe he's one of those kids that I don't remember from back then. And I said, well, I did it too. And I said, maybe, did you just audition for it? Because they were constantly auditioning for it. And he just picked up his shit and walked out.
That's one of the...
And I turned to the bartender and I go, what the fuck was that? I said, he told the only lie I could catch him in. He named... If he said he played the black kid in The Wiz, I couldn't have busted him on that.
Yeah. Right. And
if he said he was Rum Tum Tugger, I couldn't have fucking got him. But he said the role and the day and the thing. He couldn't name the theater. It was just full of shit.
And a lot of those people congregate in bars and do that.
So I turned to the bartender and I go, did you fucking hear that? She goes, oh yeah, by the way, his wife hates his guts. He doesn't live at home. I go, everything he said was absolute
It's always the
malarkey.
bartender, yeah.
And pursuantly, since I've seen him, once in a while he's come back in and he'll see me and he'll walk right back out.
Weren't we talking about that? There's an actual like we were.
Nate, everybody. Nate.
We're going to get hydrated. Let's.Use
I wasn't going to say anything.
Let's use the transition to bring Demorge out here.
Demorge Brown, everybody.
Curtis hasn't met Demorge. Right. Okay. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Music choice seems racist.
It was your 9/11 song. Was it?
No, I'm kidding.
Can we edit together all the missed handshakes and high fives that I do over here?
Did I miss one?
No. Every time people come up, I give them one of these and they just go right on by.
But we were just
That happened last week.
It did. It happens, Curtis.
People just... I
We did this earlier.
You hugged me. You know
I
why?
didn't just do this. I hugged you.
We embraced.
But everyone else walks by like you're not even there.
You know why?
Why?
Because you're a tender soul.
Yeah, well.
And Demorge lies with his eyes.
And his body. And his body.
I love the idea of Demorge as a bad person. Like that is a funny idea.
I'm fucking evil, man.
He seems impenetrably decent.
I see through all that subterfuge.
I think there's a whole, like, you could make me laugh nonstop at just images of Demorge doing something really fucked up and cruel to somebody. It just seems ironic. Like, I saw Demorge at the grocery store and he was just like kicked this kid.
I did it.
But what, that liar guy, like, this is a God damn it! I swear I was just talking about this with somebody probably on this podcast, but there was also like, this is a thing with alcoholism too. There's a sort of disorder where you start to become a pathological liar, and we bandy that phrase around pathological liar, and we tend to mean somebody who lies a lot. But it's like there are people who truly cannot control, like
and can't, not just can't tell the truth, won't tell the truth.
They won't, and they can't, and they lie and they lie and they lie. And I think there's some link with alcohol there, where like if your brain starts to fucking like, if you're like committed to sitting there and drinking, that's why you find like. At those troughs, there's just these guys with a million stories, and they kind of, it starts to, there's some syndrome where you start to create your own memories and you stack them up, and then like you're drawing on those, and you don't know it's not the truth. Except that guy, I would be willing to bet in that moment when you said the reason his hair turned white is because he realized in that moment he was lying, not so much because he got caught, because he realized, because he was like, yeah, oh shit, there's no way I'm telling the truth right now.
I see. I don't know. I think that he knew he was bullshitting me from front to back. He wasn't drunk. He didn't strike me as a career drinker.
We always think about lies as being like this thing that you use, like a crowbar, because we have a conscience, and we tend not to lie to each other because we feel guilt about it. And so when we look at like sociopathic tendencies as being like, oh, that person's cheating, and they're using like a tool to open a thing, and they can get more shit done than we can. But there's a dark side to it where they can't control it. They can't just be normal. They can't feel, and they can't be beholden to this wonderful thing we all share, which is this river we go down, which is like, there's fucking truth. Get on it, motherfucker.
Well, you know, there's something else which occurred to me, was he may have been lying to you. He may also have been lying to the bartender, because if she was really good looking, he would, of course, tell her that his wife doesn't love him and he doesn't live at home.
Yeah, that I don't know. But
that whole thing could have been a joke,
a
lie as well.
She had said that like it wasn't that he had unburdened that on her. It's that she happens to either know the woman or she knows somebody else that knows the score there. So like it was like kind of, I think, semi-verifiable that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
But that's very likely. I think that he was creating a fantasy world that,
right.
and in that world, everything not only is great, but also has always been great and always has been different.
And that has to be easy to do in that world, because if you're a person who's planted at a bar on a regular basis, to the left and to the right, you have people who kind of flit in and flit out.
Yeah.
And they're all looking for.
And you can tell pieces of that story. You can lay the game with all,
Right.
with
that's
all
why
those,
you
with
go
those
to a
chess pieces.
bar. Like, that's why you don't just sit at home and drink. Like you go to a bar. The idea is this chorus line of linear connectivity that you can choose. You can stare forward and drink, or you can bother to connect with one person and control it. And if that person says, "I'm a trumpet player," and like you start to feel like you're getting your life done, like you're a cooler person than sober people. Like, oh, there's a camera behind the bar pointing at me. I'm getting to know the trumpet player. I'm expanding my horizons. But then there's, like, of course, like any biosphere, there's this fungus growing on that, which is like people who are just like, yeah, I'm a trumpet player. Like, they're not. They're just more alcohol than man. Weird. What if I became one of them? What if I was just like, what if I lost my whole life to that? What if I was just sitting there going like, all right, NBC, and then I'm a spider. You're a spider? Yeah, I'm a spider. I work for NBC and I'm a spider. Tell me more. Oh, I got 8 legs, and then the next person you talk to, you got the whole spiel about the 8 legs going on, and you think it's the truth. Let's not do that. Let's just drink at home like we should. Okay. We should start playing Shadowrun, and we got no Aaron, so we should.
Oh yeah. So somebody has nominated himself to play Mercy.
No,
It sounds like Adam
Think
Goldberg.
about it. Think about that.
But don't you kind of?
What's your name here? Jen. I'll leave it to the audience. Adam Goldberg or this Jen that we've just met? Jen to the stage, everybody. Jen. No offense, Adam, but democracy being what it is.
Hello, Jen.
Hey, Jen. How are you?
Jen, anything?
Up top.
How's the show been going? Is this your first time at the show?
No, I've been going, I think, for the past 6 weeks, I think.
Wow.
I just moved here in the fall from Arizona, so I came here with my sisters first. So they're big fans, so shout out to them. They hate me now, probably.
Are your sisters in the back, or?
No, they're actually in the UK. So.
Oh, okay. They're really in the back.
Yeah.
In the back
Yeah.
of the Atlantic. God, now I have like 8 questions for you though.
That's fine.
You came here from Arizona to do what?
I'm at LMU where Jamal goes. Throwback.
Jamal, our post-racial astronaut.
Yes, I know Jamal.
Loyola Marymount. Awesome.
Yes. I'm studying film and TV production. So.
Okay.
Yay.
What's the big dream? What do you if you had your super duper pie in the sky gig, what would that be?
Right now, I really like cinematography. So, cinematographer maybe, editor, something like that.
Great.
You never know. I'm young, so.
Film, digital?
Yeah.
It wasn't a yes or no. I mean, it was a yes or no.
Yeah.
But, all right.
Yes.
Okay, so Curtis, you're taking this one. This is your guy again, and then the rest of you. God damn it! I forgot her name already.
Jen.
Jen, you
Jen,
are
Jennifer,
obviously taking Erin McGathy's folder, and Jeff is everything.
Now, are you familiar with Mercy, her character?
Yes, I am.
Good for you.
I hope I do it justice.
That's where you and Aaron part company.
Yeah.
Can I ask very quickly though about your sisters? Your sisters being in the UK, like what kind of?
Yeah, they go to school there. So my older sister Amanda goes to school at in London, and then my other
Which
sister,
school?
University College London.
University of College
Yeah, it's
London.
weird. It's like there's no space. Like there's no other words. University
Gotcha.
College London.
Right.
She's a liar.
Can you do an English accent?
Oh no,
No?
no way. And then my other sister, who's actually my twin, she goes to school in University of Edinburgh. So,
Oh, really?
Yes, and I know how you guys like that city. So
Can you do a Scottish accent?
I can't do.
Do
any
you
accents.
happen to know? I had a girlfriend who taught me. There is a mnemonic device, like a children's rhyme, that takes you through the whole lineage of every monarch of England, from the get-go to the now-go.
Yeah. I've heard it, but
It's
I
like,
don't know.
there's a Charlie and Nicky and Noogie and Boogie, but like, it's
Who can forget King Nicky?
King Oogie
well,
the
they do.
Boogie.
They truncate him as like Eddie and Chuck and Pookie and Tuck and kind of like Pookie, and they're like, well, that's Peter, and they're like, okay. It's kind of amazing to it's just so weird to like be part of it. Like can you imagine being part of a country that's older than 200 years? Like, just weird that you like could like go back until the like almost year zero with like the people that are part of it. Who cares? Shut up. Stupid.
Can I also add one thing? I'm channeling Aaron right now. I brought cookies. I just came back. I got back like 2 hours ago. I came back down from Mammoth. I was there this weekend, and I had the people drop me off here so I could come. So.
What kind of cookies are they?
So.
Let's get them up here.
All right.
All
We
right.
have
I wanna
we
use
have
it.
we have mixed results with edibles here.
Who is the gal that brought those Rice Krispie ones? Holy smoke!
So the person that brought those Rice Krispie treats, like my dog ate a tin of them and had to go to the emergency rich dog drug addict hospital
Because he was high as fuck.
to recover from. My dog, who probably did not learn his lesson because he eats cakes off of the middle of the table, ate a tin of pot Rice Krispie treats.
I had one of those, and I was fucking ripped. I was really, really bad.
I had like a quarter of a pan of those, and I was just not feeling it.
For real?
Yeah.
Because
I weigh
Literally not feeling.
I weigh more than Harvey, though, so.
Yeah, but like You're also a pro. I'm a lightweight on.
Well, thanks,
on the
Jeff.
marijuana.
Can I correct you on that? He mostly gets high for charity.
Yeah. It's really a burden.
He's not a pro.
I apologize. There's no pot in these cookies. I bought them, so.
That's why I'm
That's
refraining.
good. I'll give them to my dog.
Yeah, anyone can have them. I think people were scared that I was trying to poison them, or they just don't like cookies, which
It's always
is the worst
possible.
option.
Everybody's worried these days. Everybody's going to poison everybody.
All right. So
You know, I say let them poison each other. As long as it's not me.
see, that would have been funny if Nate ran out right then, because we would have thought he's a reporter. And he's going Dan Harmon, soft on poisoning. All right, Spencer, do you want to?
You know the reason why in Milwaukee we can't go trick or treating at night is because of this urban legend about the idea that people put like victimize children during trick or treat, and it never happened. Like the only instances, this is like a really impressive thing about our species and our country. Like 250 million, 300 million people going for 50 years. Like all this shit about like those razor blade in your apple is a poison in your thing. Trick or treat has been going on every year. Kids don't get hurt. The only instances, I think, the only documented instances of kids getting poisoned or hurt by like tainted or maligned edibles during trick or treat, I believe 100% of the cases are a shitty relative of their own home trying to pin fucking child murder on society because they hate their children and they poison like milk duds and kill their fucking kid and everybody's like,
is this a theory of yours or
no? It's not.
There's like only one or two recorded instances when this actually occurred, and it's the parents did it to their own kids. I don't think there was any deaths though. It's always exaggerated, but the kids ended up living.
Well,
and
my point
stuff.
being, like, if often, like, I don't know, it's like constantly you see shit, and then you go like, man, we're such a fucked up species. We're so fucked up. But then you always carry on this shit in your head with like, a holiday where kids dress up as Pokemons and ask for candy. Man, how are you going to keep people from coming in those? How do you know they're not going to come all over the candy and put acid in it and then come in the acid and then stab them in the eye with a needle? And it's like the fucked up places where your brain goes. Remember when Duncan was on and we're being programmed? It's like he's at the mall and he sees a kid and he's like, should I want to fuck that kid? Like because we're all like kids are fuckable and you should want to fuck kids and murder them and kidnap them. But it's like we don't largely do it. And I'm not saying anybody stop taking any precautions you've been taking, but it's like we don't do it. Isn't that uplifting? Like trick or treat every year. Fucking kids come to the door, open a bag, give me some candy. Nobody fucking does anything bad. Don't start. We're all right. We're all right people. We're fine. We're better than giraffes. Do you know how much cum would be on your candy if you trick or treated in a giraffe neighborhood? Giraffes. Elephants eat shit out of each other's ass. So they take their trunk and they go like, you didn't digest all the grass in that. I'm eating it. Chimpanzees take a frog and they fuck the frog to death. Everybody but us on this planet, every species but us, is a piece of shit, murdering, horrible, homicidal sociopath.
What the crowd listening at home doesn't know is everyone else has left the building.
We're good people. We have our moments.
Are you saying that if you knew that some giraffes lived next door to you, you wouldn't go trick-or-treating at their house?
I would not. I wouldn't. I would not.
You think giraffes would have that much malice aforethought that they would come all over your Snickers?
Yes, I do.
Is that what you're saying, Dan?
Yes, I do. Or they would eat me. They would put some if they're sentient giraffes. Okay, I don't want to go near that
giraffes
house.
That's a big if.
Well, giraffes are not sentient.
They're not?
Well, okay. If they are, then I'm glad that there's none here. I would avoid a sentient animal like the plague. Because if they're not forthcoming with their sentience, if they're not going like, "Hey, over here, I'm sentient," I don't trust them. And that includes these fucking dolphins.
Do you pronounce plague like bagel? Did you just say plague like the plague?
I think sometimes that you're part giraffe.
I'm gonna fucking come all over you. All right, Spencer, if you would, please catch us up and bring us up to date.
Oh,
World
yeah.
of Shadowrun.
on Shadow Time. Our heroes had not found Baldwin Brown, but were still en route to the neutral drop zone. There they met with Mr. Johnson, who was less than pleased by not having Baldwin Brown in his clutches. However, Dr. Friend eased him over with an agony spell on himself. And after some strict negotiations by, what's her name, Mercy O'Donnell, things were smoothed over. Until the cops showed up. It was time to bone out, and Eve used a flaming gorilla illusion spell to cover their escape while they boned out in the semi-truck with the Johnson. But without Baldwin, what would they do? What would they get paid from? Will they find him instead? All right, that's over. You know, if you don't feel it deserves an applause, you don't need to applaud. I'm just saying. It's fair. Either way.
That's how I feel.
You're in the Barrens. It's early morning. Let's say 3 or 4 in the morning. You're in a semi-truck full of BTLs with the Johnson. You think you've evaded the cops. You're on an empty road winding through fields of rubble towards a building said to be hiding Baldwin Brown.
Oh, we know...
Yeah, my eagle spotted him in that building, and there's magical mana barriers inside there, like magic barriers inside the building.
Mana barriers, yep.
All right. I can take care of that shit.
Can you?
Huh?
Well, whatever.
Don't doubt me, Spencer.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Thank you, Mercy.
We should drive until we arrive at this place.
All right. I like it.
Are we all in the back of a big truck?
You're narratively, you can be positioned wherever you want. It'll all work out.
Because I was confused about that last week.
Yeah. Well, last week
So
you were
we're
in
one
the front.
one truck.
Yeah. The semi-truck, there's they call it the cab, and then they call it the Holland box, I think.
The bed.
Oh. Yeah.
All right, I'm in the Holland box.
All right.
Me too.
So am I, yeah.
Okay.
Me too.
I believe Hordegard and Mercy, I think, are up front, right?
Yeah, in
Driving
the
this
passenger seat.
vehicle?
Huh?
You could be wherever you want to be.
Am I using my sort of my sense of where we are going to get there?
Oh, yeah. You got a map. It's in your brain. You know everywhere you're going.
So we are programmed. We will arrive according to my sequencing. I would request an estimation on how long before we arrive.
Say what?
How much time before we get there?
Oh. Well, you're getting there right now.
Say what?
We are arriving now and stopping.
Definitely.
We're almost
So-
there.
As you get closer, you pass more and more intact buildings, run down as they are, and also people in the early morning light congregating or standing around in the street. Small barrel fires cast a warm, flickering light across the streets. The truck rolls up to a stop. The building is just down the block, unless you want to like roll up to the front of it. But usually,
Yeah, I said we don't park right in front of it.
yeah. So that's where you're parked, not right up in front of it.
Hordegard, can you use your sense to find out? Can Hordegard locate where Baldwin Brown is inside this building?
No.
But
No.
it's in my collection of mental maps. Do I have some sort of layout of the building available to me?
Not really. It just looks like a small building.
Should I astral project myself inside that building and try to get sense where the barriers are and where Baldwin is?
Who are you asking?
The group.
Oh.
You guys okay with that, or you want to try another plan?
I was going to give him a strength boost that might help him find Baldwin Brown in the building.
Who?
What's your name?
Hordegard.
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 Like Hildegard.
Oh, Hildegard.
Hordegard.
Hordegard.
Yes. Yeah.
Hordegard. I was going to give him a strength boost.
Do it.
Okay.
This guy's a really good doctor.
And with that, his strength is boosted.
Feeling very strong now.
You're feeling 3 stronger.
It's kind of a bad neighborhood. Somebody should stay with the goods. Not the kind of people you want to valet park with.
Okay.
If you get my meaning.
If you astral project, perhaps I could create some sort of mind meld between us, and then we could stay in contact.
Okay.
While you're gone.
All right,
This is possible.
I astral project into the building and try to locate where Baldwin is.
With a mind meld?
Mind meld communication with Hordegard.
Okay, that happens. You're in astral form. You glide over the buildings. You glide over 2 large parking structures that are broken and damaged with the ravages of time, and in between them, nestled in a tiny, tiny spot, almost too small for a property, you see a vintage wooden house standing bright and cheery, squeezed in the tiny lot. You see the house is made out of real live walnut wood planks and a wood shingled roof. It's a real throwback to the older times. Its yard is overgrown with plants and it's glowing. You can see it with your astral vision. It's glowing. As you try and enter the house, you're repulsed by a strong mana barrier force. It's blocking all astral travel.
All right. Is it so it's glowing from the mana barrier?
The barrier is glowing.
Right. And there's no way for me to get through that?
Not astral style.
Attacking barriers, can I take out, like, how do you attack? Can I attack those with my astral, with my war club?
You can try, but it's a tough barrier. You could tell by looking at it.
All right, well, I use my my combat focus weapon, my Comanche war club, and I try to attack the barrier.
Okay.
Hey, you all right? You look like you're getting astrally blocked.
Can we communicate through comlinks when I'm astral?
No, you're just a ghost. You could talk to Hordegard, though.
I would like to relay a question from you.
What is it?
Are you all right?
I'm so far so good. There's a barrier here. Should I try to smack it?
I would smack. Yes.
Okay.
Certainly.
Okay.
Why would you not?
I take my Comanche war club and harness my club's astral attack on it.
Striking with the astral form of your club, it pings harmlessly off the barrier surface. This is some higher level magics.
Ooh. Okay, I go back to the to the group.
For the record, he says he is all right.
Yes, I'm all right. Okay, so guys, there's a big mana barrier. It's magic that's beyond my capabilities. I don't know how to get through that.
Oh, well, you know what they say.
What do they say, Nightblade?
The bigger the mana barrier, the lower the defense against conventional assault. I assume.
Perhaps this is something.
Okay, can I counterspell against it?
No.
Shit.
Could I give him a spell that would increase his body size?
Her. I'm a she.
Sorry?
I'm a girl.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. My name is Eve.
New World.
I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
You could, yeah.
You have to ask. It's a callback.
You know,
Camera 2, camera 3, camera 1, camera 4.
Harmontown is brought to you by Snuggles Fabric Softener.
If you casted the increased body, it'd make him tougher to kill and more resilient.
but it won't help him get through the barrier.
Not on its own, no.
Okay.
Could perhaps it be what is it? You have a sort of like a light whip.
Yeah, whip. Yeah, yeah, a nano whip in my finger. Yeah.
Is it is that sort of barrier? Is it sort of
No,
vulnerable to the whip?
Okay. You look that question up on the future net. Wait, it's called the Matrix in this game. You look it up on the Matrix and you find out that mana barriers are not affected by physical matter.
Somebody stay here and protect the gear. I should head in there. It seems like...
Also, I mean, I could go in there. I have mana spells. I could go in there and cast like a high-level mana bolt and try to knock it out that way, too. But I am getting a little drained. Have I rested, or do I still have the drain, Spencer?
Nah, you're still drained.
Okay. I've got a few. I have a few bits of drain left in me.
Yeah, you're about half.
There's no there in the non-astral plane. There's no barrier in the regular plane, probably.
Thank
That's
you.
what the
The
internet
people on the
says.
street are saying things.
So do we know the security system on the outside of the building?
No, you only have seen the wooden exterior of the house.
Oh yeah, you're a hacker, right? Like
No.
Yeah. Well,
No? Okay.
I have a key card copier.
That's
so
true.
And I also have an auto picker, which I would think would be locks. So I go and inspect the front door or entrance to the building.
You cross through the green yard and past the yellow mailbox that has the name The Yellowmans painted on the side. You go up to the front door that's painted blue. The paint is chipping. It's old as hell, but it's a classic throwback lock. You could definitely pick it with that lock picker.
I pick the lock.
All right.
Can I be following her? I want to go as well because I watched my magic friends fail to. So we're leaving the Holland truck, and I'm going to go in with the physical people.
I will follow as well, but behind, rear guard for protection.
Thank you.
I'm staying in the car.
All right. I'm inside the truck, but I'm still going to be in the astral plane right now, kind of overseeing things.
I'm telling you,
Okay.
somebody should stay with the truck because it's like a joke in an '80s movie. We're going to come back. It's going to be on blocks. It's a bad neighborhood.
This guy likes cookies.
They're pretty dry, but they're good.
Speaking of dry, can I have a water? It's because of him. I blame him. Nate, right?
Spencer has one.
Does Spencer have a water?
Here.
Okay, there you go.
Here, Jen.
Thank you, Spencer.
It was in my pocket.
All right, so
Thanks,
the
Spencer.
It's a little warm, but it's still wet.
the mana barrier is not covering the outside of the house. It's covering the whole house.
It is. It's like paint.
So what lock is she picking? The one on the house
The
itself?
front door. Yep.
Okay.
So is the chipped paint mean that portion is down?
Nope. I mean, I like paint in that it covered the entire thing. I'm
Oh.
sorry. That's confusing.
That's okay.
You pick the door and it slides open silently, which is odd for an old wooden house.
Well,
Is the barrier still there?
No, you can only see it when you're in the astral plane. No one else can see any barriers.
Okay.
It's like an astral barrier.
Would like to use my sense of detecting enemies to see if there are any enemies I can detect.
You detect 2 enemies inside.
But with any sort of specificity location? Or is that just
No, all
sort of-
you could do is detect
I get a
their
number. The
presence.
number is 2. There are 2 enemies.
Yep.
Thanks. All right. Well, get ready to change that number.
Meaning there are 3.
What? What?
A rare joke from Hortegard.
No, I don't mean change it. Don't change it randomly. I'm going to change it by killing people. This guy.
I go back to the truck, go back into the physical world, and I say, guys, there's a mana barrier. You're not getting in there. There's a magical force field around this house. You're not getting in there.
Well, I guess you're talking to friend because everyone else is outside the truck.
That's right.
Oh,
I'm the only one who stayed in the truck.
Not on comm links. I can't say that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
I report that on comm to everybody.
That happens.
Why don't you guys get to know each other? Just suggesting as a player, like, it could be a fun scene.
Me and the doctor.
Yeah.
Hey, Doc. Remember what you said back there about me maybe.
About you could have done better than
I could have
this.
done better, and it's hard because we live in this world that just every step you take seems like a step back. Every time you do something, it just reinforces the fact that you're not supposed to be free. You're not supposed to be happy, and I don't feel, I've never felt like I deserve happiness.
It's not true. You're a decent girl. You could have anything. I just don't want your life to be like mine.
I want to find my parents. My parents are stuck working for mega corporations, and their magic is being used like prostituted.
I know.
They didn't even know if I'm alive or dead, Doc.
Look, I don't know if you know anything about me, but I used to be a very well-respected doctor.
What happened?
Do you remember when the president was shot?
Yes.
I was the doctor who attempted to save his life.
Wow.
But I'd been drinking. He died on the table, under my hands. It destroyed me. I just went from bad to worse after that, and then I wound up here with these people. I'm just telling you, thank you. I'm just telling you that you could save yourself now. Go find your parents. Start your life all over again.
All you're telling me is that you found yourself at the bottom of the barrel just like the rest of us. We're nobodies. We're nothings.
I'm more of a nothing than you are.
Maybe you should take your own advice and put some of that like that healing power on your own soul, your own self.
Maybe you're right.
I kissed the doctor.
Oh, okay.
We start really making out.
Yeah.
Stop, they're coming.
Okay.
We're not coming.
Oh, okay.
We're but you may have forgot to turn off your comm link.
Oh shit! God damn it! Jesus Christ! Oh my God, that's embarrassing. How much did you guys hear? How much did you guys hear?
All of it.
Oh
It's
shit!
sort of 100%.
Can I just say we're all shadow
20.
runners? You know, like the stuff, the themes I'm hearing, I've heard on a lot of shadow runs. You know, we are all misfits. I don't think there's anyone that should be saying to anybody else, you know, you more than me. You know, it's like, come on, this is the life we chose.
Hey, you know what, guys?
Okay.
Little powwow. Everybody huddle up.
Well, we can't. We're at the house.
Okay, I go. Okay, calmly huddle up. Let's just calmly huddle up.
Yeah.
Everybody pretend you're in a physical huddle. We're the bottom of the barrel. But we have a job to do. And everything that we do right from here on forward gets us a little bit higher, makes us a little bit better people. I don't know who this guy, Mr. Johnson, is or what he wants from Baldwin Brown.
Yeah, should I be on this call or not?
Oh, shit.
Wait, is he listening the whole time?
Yeah.
Baldwin Brown?
No, Johnson.
Johnson.
Who
Shit.
Who keeps hitting send all?
It's a lot like sort of this joke that we have about Norwegian family, where, for example, maybe this one comes from Stavanger, and maybe this one comes from Bergen, and maybe this one comes from Trondheim. I am, of course, from Oslo. And this one is the angry one. Angry that the oil is being taken from his place. He has all the money in the world, but it's being sent to other places in Norway. But we're all one family, and end of story. So for precision's sake, we're all one family.
Thanks for dumbing that down for us. Really clarified it.
I go back into the astral plane, and I go at it, and I throw a Force 5 mana bolt at the barrier.
Okay. What's your magic plus spellcasting?
7 and plus 6. 7
I think
plus
the
6.
mana barrier is just a thing that's there.
It strikes it and absorbs into the mana barrier's surface.
The end?
I mean, what?
That's it?
That's it for that mana bolt.
Nothing happened.
But not for this story.
No.
Time for action. Fart gun engaged. All right. Eve?
Yeah.
Is that her name?
Yep.
All right. Come out to the coast. Let's have a few laughs. I got two bogeys somewhere in here.
Right.
I sweep the room. I take in my surroundings. What do I see?
You see the front room. There's 2 large couches and all sorts of framed photos and light coming in from the kitchen.
Well, he's in the room?
Apparently.
What's the point
Yeah,
of
you
me?
can walk through a mana barrier, motherfucker. You don't have to...
Oh, so it just keeps out magic?
It keeps out magic.
Fucking
It's just-
somebody! I don't know everything about magic, you guys.
Again, the people from the streets.
They know. Street smarts.
I check my zones.
Yeah, you see light coming from the kitchen and you hear movement.
Check my zone.
You see an old lady ruffling around in the fridge. She doesn't seem to notice you. It must be her intense stealth capabilities.
Or she's a robot. Just like my parents. I holster my weapon.
All right.
And I use my social skills.
What do you do with them?
Hey, Mom.
Jesse? Is that you?
Yeah, it's me, Jersey.
Are you home, Jesse?
Yes, I'm home.
Oh, it's been so long. My eyes, they're not good.
I brought a girl with me. I hope that's okay. I know you're old-fashioned, but times are changing.
All right. Just have fun down in the basement like you always do.
Okay, cool.
I go back in physical form again.
Okay. You're in the truck, right?
I go back and join him, I think, right? Am I with you?
I don't know.
You said you brought a girl, right? You meant me?
No, I meant
Mercy.
Mercy.
Okay, I'm in the truck.
All right.
Being very embarrassed about the whole mana barrier experience.
All right.
So you said that there were 2 people in the room?
Your 2 enemies were scouted in the house.
Okay. So I'm going to put on my spy monocle,
All right.
and I'm going to go... What's the setup of, like, the lower level of the house?
The kitchen leads to the basement for some reason.
I use my stealth to get by the grandma, and I go down into the basement, and I use my spy monocle to see my surroundings.
All right. It's really dark, but you can see 2 sleeping figures in a small metallic dome in the darkness. They're sleeping in the basement. They're not in the dome. The dome is separate. Oh. It's nearby.
I head down the stairs as well. I draw my Ares Predator.
You do that.
Silencer equipped.
Is anyone else doing anything?
I am in the kitchen right now.
I think you're outside the house, probably.
Well, then I enter the house.
The old lady's like, "Oh, Jesse, got some friends?"
Just tell her you're Jesse's friends.
Tell her I am a friend of Jesse's, and I am just outside waiting for him to grab his effects.
Okay. Would you like a coffee?
Let me use my power to analyze truth to see if this is really coffee.
It is. I mean, it is.
I will enjoy coffee.
You got to take the coffee, or she'll
But
kill
will
you.
he really enjoy the coffee? Find out next time on Shadowrun.
All right.
Cliffhanger!
All right.
Thank you so much, Jen, everybody. Jen helping us out as Mercy. Yeah. DeMorge Brown, everybody. Spencer Critton, and I'm Jeff Davis. Curtis Armstrong, everyone.
Should he come back next week?
Should he come back?
All right. Okay. So now you're an asshole if you don't.
Yeah. And next week, we're going to go in that house and kick a whole ton of ass in there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, everybody. Dan Harmon, your mayor, everybody.
Thank you, Chris and Zach and Dustin back in the booth. And we'll see you next week. Oh, and watch King of the Nerds on Fridays on TBS.
That's right. Finale on Friday, 9 o'clock.
Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.